what's up everyone? Matt Montanez here, finally again with another plugins in-depth video. I mean, it's been a while, like a real while. I think the last time I put a video out was late December, and I was planning on doing something February, you know, after the holidays and stuff like that, and then March, but turned out I ended up having to move. Took a while to get my gear back set up, find the groove, get comfortable again. On top of that, it took me a while to catch back up on songs and work and things. And then my computer actually crashed, so I actually had to wipe it and reinstall like everything that I could remember I had. If you followed me for a while, you know I used to have like massive plugin lists. And now like my plugin lists are so tiny, like even my sound toys, I only have 2 of them. I don't even have like all the sound toys I had installed. Yeah, so it's things like that. Like things just kind of get set back. But anyways, I'm here now. I'm finally gonna bring you a new video, and it's a dope plugin. This one's by Baby Audio. You guys know me, I love Baby Audio's products. All their plugins are super dope, especially that Comeback Kid. That one's my all-time favorite, but this one might take the cake. I think this one because it's more I can definitely use it in every single session versus an effect plugin. Like this one is a surgical plugin. Before I jump into the plugin, I'm going to explain this song that I have pulled up here. It's called No Lifeguard by a really good friend of mine, Jackie's Boy. Super dope singer-songwriter. He's a Grammy Award winner. He's worked with like Madonna, Justin Bieber, Sean Kingston, and a bunch of other artists. Very talented guy. And yeah, the record's out already. I'll put a link in the description below. And then this Friday, actually, the music video comes out. So be on the lookout for that. The way the new Baby Audio plugin, it's called Smooth Operator, by the way. I basically mixed this record already kind of using a plugin similar to it. And also there's an effect in this song that I want to show you that how versatile Baby Audio plugins are, that you can actually accomplish that effect even with this plugin. And let me pull it up here. It's called Smooth Operator by Baby Audio. I actually think that's a really sweet name, and it's just a super clean plugin. Like it looks like simple to use. It kind of reminds me of all the FabFilter stuff, which is real neat, versus like this multi-band compressor that I always use currently, and it just looks like a headache, right? It's not as clean. Before I jump into this plugin and really dive in deep and just kind of explain the functions and what everything does, I'm gonna play this record for you so you can hear it. Let's bypass that and let's move it over a little bit. And I'm gonna play a little bit of the hook and things like that, a little bit of the verse, because there's something in that second half of the hook that I want you to hear, and that's the effect I'm going to recreate with Smooth Operator.
Keeping your body in motion, so stay there and baby don't move, 'cause when you get close, I don't wanna let go. It's the power your knees and when your body's on me, I'm drowning in your water. No, I don't need a lifeguard here tonight. Every wave it takes me farther. No, I don't need a lifeguard here tonight. And then she told me go low, go lower, go low, go lower, go low, go lower. And then she told me, baby, go low.
There we go. That was the effect, that filter effect that it does. It's really sweet. Well, I did it. I just used an EQ to do it, but I'm going to show you that you can do it with Smooth Operator, which is dope. But first, let's just talk about the plugin before I dive into that cool effect. So let's unbypass that and let me show you. So this right here is the threshold, which is really cool. It's not hidden or anything. It's right in the center. And there's 2 ways you can move. You can just click and drag it up and down, and of course left and right. Or you could use your mouse wheel to move it up and down. Very cool. If you double click it, it snaps right back to the default. Next is you got your bands. You got your lows, you got your highs, you got your low mids and your high mids, and you just pretty much drag them down into a spot. It shows you exactly right there on the bottom of the screen the hertz, how much dB you're pulling out, and the Q. And if you want to narrow it, you just use your mouse wheel. It's very fast. The only thing is if you're using a trackpad, it doesn't really work as fast. Like look how slow it's going with my trackpad. But if I'm using a mouse wheel, it works really good. So with the trackpad, it's kind of hard to get it. I mean, it's just a little slower. Maybe I can just do the sensitivity on the trackpad. So that's how you notch it. Double click it, everything goes back to the default, or at least that band that you're clicking. You have a focus thing, which the way I see it as, you can see it more like like an attack time. So if you go to the right, it's going faster, and if you go to the left, it's going slower, where it's doing more of a leveler thing, kind of like an LA2A. And I'll show you that right now. Let's solo these vocals. And let's just exaggerate a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna go right in the, actually let's stay at the default, 75. And let's play, and then you'll see up here, there'll be like a meter, which shows the gain reduction.
Keeping your body in motion. So stay there and baby, don't move.
So now I'm gonna move the slider of focus. I'm gonna move the focus slider to the left, and then you're gonna see that it like widens everything, because it's not really grabbing those peaks anymore. It's grabbing more of the average level of the audio.
Keeping your body in motion. So stay there and baby, don't move.
It's real broad now. It's like it widened the cue a bit, kind of deal. And just stop grabbing those peaks. But I'm saying it's go more of those peaks. If I go all the way to 100, you're gonna see it's more notchy, more peaky.
Keeping your body in motion.
You see, so it just grabs a lot more. So I'm thinking it's more like an attack time. That's the best way I would envision it, and I like to explain it just so it makes sense. So now, like, watch, let me go up and let's grab this band here, and let's just do a notch.
Keeping your body in motion. So stay there and baby, don't move. Cause when you get close, I don't wanna let.
So it really grabs it like a lot when you focus 100 into it. So like I said, it's like an attack time, I feel. Next, you got this solo section. The solo section is my favorite part of this entire plugin. Well, yeah, it's probably my favorite part of the entire plugin because it makes things so fast. So when I'm messing with the C6, for example, and I'm trying to dial in a frequency or something that's a nuance that I'm hating, I have to click this solo button and then drag my frequency around. That's fine. Then I have to select this one and drag my frequency around. So I'm kind of bouncing back and forth. So let's say I start nudging this one, I can't re-solo this one. I have to remember to turn them off, things like that. It's kind of a pain. With the solo button here, if you have it on, which it's on right now, when you just hover over that band, it only plays that frequency.
So stay there and baby, don't.
Really cool, so you can dial in what you want. Just hover over it and you can drag it around, and then when you hover off of it, it goes away. And that's for all the bands. So I'm gonna hover over this one, then I'm gonna go to the next one and you'll hear it right away.
Close.
Very dope. So like I said, that's my favorite part of the plugin. If you hit it off, then it doesn't matter which one you hover over, it's not going to solo that frequency.
Keeping your body in motion.
So it's a giver. It's like if you enjoy or you want to dial in something like that, you can have it on or off, whatever. It really doesn't matter. And then same thing, you hover over a band and then you can mess with the notch. When you're not on a band, then it messes the whole threshold. Very, very dope. So like you can really dial stuff in. If you don't want it to be like, let's say you bring the threshold down quite a bit and you don't want it to compress that area, you just bring these bands up just like that and make them wide. Same here. So if you don't want to mess with the low end at all and just the high end, you do something like that.
Keeping your body in motion. So stay there and baby, don't move. Cause when you get close, I don't wanna let go. It's the power between your knees and when your body's on me. I'm drowning in your water.
Very, very dope. Then you got your output, which is like just a makeup gain. So if it gets a little too quiet, you can bump it up. A little too low, a little too loud, you can bump it down. And then you can just switch the RMS and peak right here, which it just shows your meter.
Keeping your body in motion. So stay there and baby, don't move. Cause when
I mean, just that alone makes it a super sweet plugin. Like I said, it's super fast to work with, all 4 bands, versus coming here, clicking solo, trying to dial it in, dial it in, and then, you know, you can hover on top of it and move it around with your mouse wheel, but it's a little sensitive. And then right here, the Q, you have to jump to the Q and mess with the Q. Like, it's a lot of jumping back and forth versus just everything's in your right hand. It's kind of like you have your shortcut keys off of your left hand, and you hate it when you have to take your hand off your mouse to hit another shortcut key. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, at least that's what I feel. Like, I hate moving my hand off my mouse to hit another shortcut key with my right hand. So I like that everything's on my left hand. So it's the same thing messing with this plugin. Everything's just there on my right hand. I don't have to worry about nothing else. Very, very dope. Then also, I should mention, is you have the sidechain feature, which is super sweet. So if I go to 17 here, engage sidechain, and that's a undo button right there, which I probably shouldn't have clicked. So let's just mess with it, right? So I go like that, 17 sidechain, I engage the sidechain there, and then I'm going to put, let's see what I have that comes in right here. So like we have this little vocal that pops in, and let's say it's clashing at the same frequency, but you don't want to put an EQ because then it takes away from that vocal. So you only need it. Okay, this is a bad example. So let's say this. So let's say you have a kick and bass playing at the same time, right? And every time the kick and bass hit at the same time, then it clashes. But then when they're not hitting at the same time, it sounds so good, right? So you use the sidechain so you don't have to EQ that frequency all the time and then automate it. You'll use the sidechain so whenever that kick comes in, then it'll trigger the multi-band compressor or the smooth operator to actually mess with that, bring it down. Something like this. So let's go back a little bit. And let's, I have a solo on over here. See, here's that solo. Let's pull that solo off. So I'm gonna go back a little bit, just a little before, and you're gonna see it's not gonna, sorry. So you're gonna see it's not gonna do anything no matter how much the threshold is, but once this sound comes in, then it's actually going to kick on.
discovery places on you, oh, keeping your body in motion. So stay there and baby, don't.
So it's really cool. So it doesn't clash. Really dope for kicks and bass, or even like guitars that are clashing. Like you can really dial something in and just take it away where you're just pulling up the frequencies you don't want at that moment versus overall in the entire song. I love it. Like that's such a dope feature, and it's so quick to engage on that versus like other plugins. So now we got the effect, right? So I have the effect here, and basically this is what I like about it too. It's so fast to pull effects. Like this one, you just click here and you roll it off. Very fast to add that effect, but like if I'm trying to do it with the C6, it takes a little longer. So I never do it, but with the smooth operator, I can just come in here, pull this all the way up, drag this all the way down, drag this one all the way down. And just gotta give it a little room, just like that, and then just make this wider. And then we want to bypass this one, obviously, and then we can just dial in what we hear. So. And this one is all the smooth operator now. So I'm gonna solo the beat, so you just hear the beat versus hearing the vocals. So isn't that sweet? Like even a plugin that's a multi-band compressor, you can use it as an EQ, and it doesn't even need to be like a dynamic EQ either, because you just jump this all the way up and then you just bring everything all the way down that threshold for these bands and you're good to go. Like it's that fast. Like it took me in like no time at all. Probably even a little faster than cycling through to find a plugin. I mean a preset, but or you can even just add a preset here later that you want. I mean, it's super dope. I mean, this plugin is amazing. I love it. I highly recommend it. And I know this one's definitely going on every song from here on out. Getting rid of the C6, I'm sticking to smooth operator because for some reason it adds some kind of harmonics that I really, really like. Like it's pulling out all the bad and just keeping all the good. That's the best way I can explain it. Like I said, I recommend it. I think it's something really cool that can work for kick bass, guitars. I think it can work amazing on vocals. I mean, like, check this out, watch. Let me show you. I think it really works on vocals really good where you're not losing a lot. So let me pull it up on this vocal section here. Let's take that off solo. And let's go back to factory default. And let's just highlight this section. And I know I usually at about 250, 260, there's like a bad vibe I hate. So let's do something with that.
Discovering places on you. Oh, keeping your body in motion. So stay. Discovering places on you. Oh, keeping your body in motion. So stay there and baby, don't move.
So that clean right there, like just 2 notches, that fast. I cleaned up that vocal, took out some of that mud and took out that harsh S. So I'm gonna toggle it on and off and you'll see that's what I'm talking about, how fast it is. And I still haven't even messed with the focus. I'm not even gonna add a little focus on there. So let's leave it off and then I'll toggle it on.
Discovering places on you. Oh, keeping your body in motion.
Right there at that keeping your body in motion, it sounds real too heavy in that low end. So let's put it on.
Discovering places on you. Oh, keeping your body in motion.
And off.
Discovering places on you. Oh, keeping your body in motion.
There it is, real heavy, real nasty. Those S's are harsh, and just this, real fast. 2 little notches I did. It sounds clean. It's not destroying dynamics like crazy, like you would expect it to. And I'm not even using a de-esser, so it's incredible. Anyways, like I said, hope this helped. This plugin's amazing. I highly recommend it. Click the link in the description below to grab it. Don't forget, check out this record, No Lifeguard, by my good friend Jackie's Boy. As always, keep creating music. Take care.
Discovering places on you. Oh, keeping your body in motion. So stay there and baby, don't move.